All right, we are now recording. And for those of you that don't know me, you know who you are. My name is Alan Hill, and I'm a lead volunteer here at the Eagle Group Tuesday meeting, along with my illustrious co-hosts, Renee, Michelle, Mike, and Les. So pretty much everybody that's here has something to bring and contribute, and we're glad to have you. Today, what I wanted to cover was something that I've been working with, demonstrating on and off. One-offs is how to search on LinkedIn to create or find veterans that you can network with at companies that you're targeting. And as we get into this, what I want to do is I want you guys to be thinking of companies that you want to look for, and then what we'll do is during the Q&A when we're not recording, we'll do the searches for you guys, and I'll show you people that you can network with and connect with that I know and that you know. So this is to be used in conjunction with the 20-minute networking meeting strategy. This is the front end of the process to find people to connect with. The presumption of it is that you have a definite purpose to connect with them. So it doesn't work so well with, hi, I'm a veteran, you're a veteran, do you have any jobs at Best Buy? Why, yes, we do. Go to our website, right? There's no point in networking if you're going to be asking for stuff that's readily available on the website, right? So the point of networking in this process is to find somebody to connect with at a company that can give you a perspective as a fellow veteran about the company culture, for example, or about what it's like to be in your profession there or whatever, right? So this is the setup or the list generation feature for all of your networking. So this is the first step in networking, is finding people to connect with. I'm going to start sharing my screen here. As soon as I find the right screen. Let's hope this is the right one. All right. Okay, so can everybody see my screen? I'll take that as a yes. I didn't hear anybody squawk. So this is about finding veterans in corporate America to network with. And the example we're going to use is 3M, but I want to walk you through the process of using LinkedIn to find veterans at different companies. And the importance of this is being connected to me. Why do I say that? It's important to be connected to somebody in Eagle Group, because in this community, we're well connected to all the veterans that are out there. And so the more veterans you're connected to, or veteran affiliated spouses, etc., the more likely you are to have a bigger base to draw from, and more veterans you're likely to find using this process. So one of the challenges that people have is finding people to network with that share a common profession or common status. And that's what I want to work on with you guys right now, is how to find veterans that work at various companies. So first off, and I want you to do this on your note paper right now, is pick a company that you want to research. For the purpose of this example, it's going to work better if they're at a larger company. But the point being is we're going to look for people at that company. We're going to refine it to a geography, because we want to network with these people after COVID, especially. We're going to want to network with them face to face if we can. And then we're going to refine it by previous military service. So that's the process right there. So here's our example. So in LinkedIn, we first search for the company by name, and you just type it in the top search bar there. And 3M does have several different companies that are affiliated. I didn't affiliate them in this example, but be sure if you've got a company with subsidiaries that you catch them all. And that will take you to the company's homepage on LinkedIn. And then what you want to do is, where that red circle is, click on the number of employees, in that case, 61,000 employees. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run several filters here. First, we're going to limit it by geography. And as you can see, we've got about 12,000 results. And then this is filtered. I obviously can't show the drop down here, but its current company is 3M and up to 5 others. And then when you click on all filters, that brings you to this flyout, and you scroll down to past company, and you start picking all the military services: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Army Reserve, Air Force Reserve, Coast Guard, et cetera, et cetera. But because we live in Minnesota, I want you to pay particular attention to Army National Guard and Minnesota National Guard. For sure, add these to your search, because for companies in Minnesota, we've got a lot of people who are in the National Guard, but not the regular Army or regular service branches. So what you can see is now I've got a list of 131 results, but these are all people who are veterans in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area at 3M. So I've got a refined list now that I can work with, that I can start picking people who I'm directly connected to or have an affiliation with that I can reach out to for an introduction, and who might be in a position to help me in my job quest. So here's an executive coach, agilist, right? This would probably be good for somebody looking for an agile or scrum master role. Here's somebody doing quality. Here's a recruiter who's a veteran. That would probably be a good person to talk to. Here's a general manager. So for folks that are into operations, right, this is going to be a good person to talk to. And then, of course, here's another managing director of ventures. So if you're into new entrepreneurial or intrapreneurial startups, he's probably going to have an inside lead that will help. So what sort of major questions or responses do we have at that?
Alan, is there a way to download or save that list once you've done the filtering?
Not that LinkedIn provides, but I've copied and pasted.
Okay.
And then, with some significant text editing, I can get it into Excel.
Sure.
Or I think you can do a screenshot of that printed out. I'm a paper person.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
Alan, there is supposed to be a way that on LinkedIn to save your search. Yes.
But does that save the results of the search? I get that it saves the search parameters.
Well, if you save the search parameters, it would bring up the same results unless somebody else added or somebody subtracted off LinkedIn at the time, right?
Right. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd have to figure out how to do it before I show you.
All right. Well, get on that. You got 5 minutes before we stop the recording.
Okay.
Other feedback or comments? Questions about why we would do this?
Can you show me on the list of past companies that you use? I know you had the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, but you selected some additional ones.
Yeah, let me pop that up again. I think I can zoom in on that if you need it. Let me just readjust here. Is that better?
Yes, that's good.
So I basically, and I didn't do them all, but I did the major branches, right? And then I did the reserves, some of the major ones. And then I particularly did 2 for Minnesota National Guard. Notice I did not do the Space Force. Just saying. I'll give you a chance to get that copied down.
Hey, Alan, the only thing I would add is I love the comment you made before is that having a comment or a connection message or an invite to connect that states that, you're looking for something beyond just a website for open positions, right?
Yeah,
I think that I've heard folks that I've been helping have two approaches, and hopefully this helps some folks. The first is just connecting first, and oddly enough, folks like just the canned LinkedIn, hey, connect, right? They'll look at your profile, and if you got it up to date, there's actually a high success rate. And I've actually heard mixed connectivity, I don't know, percentages with folks that put too much or have a message and it doesn't land. So they'll actually do the message after they connect and say, hey, thanks for connecting. The reason where I reached out to you was blank. And again, those two approaches, the second approach is obviously you can make a message, but the one that really grasps is a succinct one saying, hey, looks like we're both in the military. I'd love to get your military perspective on blank pertaining to the company, right? Something that I probably couldn't get or research myself. Would love to connect, right? It's very short and sweet.
Yeah.
I think we have a character limit. So
Yeah,
again,
I just shared one of my,
some pretty good response rates.
I think, Les, I personally, I've got over 240 requests to connect, and people just hit the connect, and I don't like it. I want somebody to actually put some time and effort in it, even if it's a script like mine are, and I've got 10 different ones depending on who I'm going to introduce myself to. One that I just shared is basically, I think it's actually 210 out of the 300 characters you have, but it just says, who are you? What am I possibly getting myself into to connect with this person? And then maybe something short and personal that, connects to, maybe you guys went to the same college or what have you, or maybe he's or she has worked in a supplier that you utilize or whatever. But just what you're trying to do is connect. And to me, I think if you just spend, a good 2 hours on Saturday developing 3 or 4, you can copy and paste and you can have a higher percentage. When I use mine, 95% of the people I reach out to accept. And all it is you're just taking a few minutes other than just hitting the standard connect button. Now that's just my take.
Different folks, again, I don't think you can always peg who the recipient, what kind of personality they have, but I say try them all. I mean, the biggest thing is if you reach out to folks, you're going to get folks that connect with you. And I think we're all saying the same message there, which arms you, right, in your search. And I think, again, that's the power of networking, right? Is finding folks that you wouldn't have normally been connected to and getting information that you probably couldn't research online, right? So,
right. Yes, absolutely.
And thanks for sharing, George, because I think it's always good to have real life examples of what people are using so that, I hate having 1 degree of separation saying, hey, go do this. And then now I got to think about what my message is. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is something that, I've got literally 4 pages of introductions. I've got 4 pages of responses after they accept. You should always turn around and respond 36 hours or less when they accept. A follow-up email just to make sure that you make that initial connection last. I've got birthday ones that say, instead of hitting the standard birthday, here's 2 or 3 lines. It makes you unique and different. What you are trying to do is develop the difference between everybody else that's just going to hit the connect. That's why there's, like I said, there's literally over 200 people in my inbox that I haven't connected with. And I'll respond, why do you want to connect? And 90% of the time, they don't even respond to that. So I'm like, all they're doing is trying to fill up their LinkedIn connections. They're not interested in connecting with me.
Right.
One thing I noticed too, I think on if phone, it doesn't give you an option for a message unless that's changed, but I've always done it on my laptop if I want to do a message, because if I do it on my phone, it just goes.
Even on the app, you've got to be able to hit the other category and you can personalize it. The problem is people just take the lazy way out, and I think it's a missed opportunity, especially if you're going to an executive or a professional that's looking to potentially hire a person like you. It only takes you a few seconds to turn around and make a different impression than the rest of the people out there.
I think the consensus that you guys are all always aiding to is that even if you don't get through all of them, your personal response on the LinkedIn Connect issue is going to be better, because sometimes we're just overwhelmed by all of it that's there. I got to know a reason they want to connect with me, so I try and do a little bit of research, which means I might have a lot more in my connect button than I've had a chance to go to, but I'm in a different phase in life than a lot of you are, so the way I do things or I'm trying to accomplish things are different. Sorry.
Nope, agreed.
And these are great perspectives. From my personal perspective, if I reach out to someone, I'm going to have a definite ask in there, following the 20-minute networking format. Like, I want to connect with you to ask you a question about XYZ because you are a ABC. And that way, I using the book, I limit it to it. Look, this isn't going to be a relationship you have to commit to just by hitting the button, right? We can meet and connect and talk. And if it doesn't go any well, forget you ever saw me, right? Which minimizes the risk. Good luck with that. No, but the other thing is that I'm asking for your expertise, which, while I'm not trying to be flattering, right? That's not the effect that I'm going for. It's, I value and respect you for what you've accomplished, what you've achieved, what you've done, what you've seen, who you are. And I want to learn from you sincerely, right? And so that message resonates in what I'm sending out as well. So that's how I craft my request for connecting. Other great comments or thoughts or questions about how you would use this tomorrow? Just kidding, you're all going to use it tonight, right? All right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the recording if there's no other questions. Is there any other questions? I should say that first. Other comments or feedback? Jeff, you leaned forward. You look like you were going to say something. You're on mute.
No, I was just reading close. It was telling me that I was muted. I must have made some.
All right, good. All right, well, let me pause the record or stop the recording.